Steve Coulter is no stranger to powerful trucks, having driven SuperTrucks in the past. He's since turned his hand to Oz trucks in recent times. Let's catch up with Steve to find out what's so great about the Oz trucks. Hi Steve, and welcome to iRace. Now, you've got a bit of a colourful racing history. Can you tell us a bit about it?
I got a very colourful racing history. We sort of started back in about 1989, started with the HQ series. We come out of karting and raced HQs for a number of years. Got involved in truck racing as well. Jeff Mackin and I raced together and won a number of championships. And then got involved with Trevor Page, little Isuzu, and we basically set the lap record at pretty much every track we went to. And so we won 7 championships with Trevor Page, Aussie Racing Cars, Bathurst and touring car in '93 and 2000, which we finished 4th privateer. And so yeah, certainly you could say colourful would be an understatement. With truck racing sort of dying down a little bit, we sort of said, well, what are we going to do with our future? We want to go and race something. So we were doing a test drive at Queensland Raceway in the race truck, and the boys from Austruck were there, and they asked me if I'd like to go and do a bit of a test run, and for sure. And I went out and did about 3 or 4 laps, and I said, this is it, and I'm going to have one of these. So this is where we are.
And how do you find the cost of maintaining the Oz truck?
Oh, look, it's very affordable. That was one of the things that we were looking for. There was plenty of categories that I could afford to go and buy at least one vehicle. And my initial ambition was to buy one Oz truck. And when I discussed it with my wife, and she said, well, now you've got Michael involved in motorsport, and what are you going to do with him? And I said, well, I don't know, we'll share a drive. And she said, well, why don't we just go and buy 2? And so when we looked at the package and the affordability factor, extremely affordable. You know, in comparison to what my Aussie race car cost me, it's probably around a 70% reduction in costing. And, you know, a lot more horsepower as far as bang for your buck. You know, you just really can't beat anything that's on the market at the moment. So currently we're about 18 seconds a lap quicker than a V8 Ute at Queensland Raceway. These things are only 1,100 kilos and up around 600 horsepower. So as you can well appreciate, there's just nothing out there affordable. Around about a $25,000 a year budget, which in motorsport terms isn't a lot of money. And certainly, you know, when you look at it, the guys are all a bunch of guys. When people have got a problem, we all help each other. So I think it's a real good category to get involved in.
So what do you see as the future of Oz trucks? What would you like to see happen with the category?
Well, I think definitely the movement. I mean, 12 months ago we were here and we had 5 trucks on the track. Now there's going to be 7 this weekend, and the boys have sold another one to a previous V8 supercar driver. He's announced yesterday that he's bought the black truck that's currently here. So we've got 9 trucks available to race here in Australia now, and definitely we're moving forward. 12 months time, I believe there'll be at least 15 or 16 trucks on the track. And certainly when you come to these iRace meetings, it's a lot more affordable, and a lot more fun. So especially with the way the economy is these days, no one can afford the big bucks to go to the big race meetings.
So what do you enjoy most about the Oz trucks running in the iRace series?
Well, I think Rod Dale and Gary Willington and the boys have all done a fantastic job. They've all been involved in motorsport for many years, and they know what races really require. Affordable racing, friendly racing. We don't have all the trinkets that CAMS has. We don't have all the instability. You know, we work very hard on preparing our race cars, and when you go to a CAMS event, with no disrespect to CAMS, they do a good job, but you never know until you're actually on the racetrack what they're going to pick on or whatever. And so with the iRace people, they're very flexible. Obviously safety is paramount, so that's the first thing they look at. The way these trucks are built in California, they're obviously built for extreme conditions, and so when it comes down to safety, the iRace people have a good look at them, they climb over them, they don't find anything wrong with them, and that's what we find, the friendly atmosphere, and everyone goes away having a good weekend.
So can you describe the atmosphere at a typical iRace meeting?
Well, probably one word, fantastic. Certainly when I go home on a Sunday night from an iRace meeting, I feel as though I've accomplished and achieved the best I can, and had a great weekend. Point with iRace, you sort of no sooner get out of the truck and you're back in it and out you go again. So value for money with iRace, it's certainly very affordable racing and very good value as far as the amount of content, the amount of laps you do.
And do you have any words of encouragement to people out there who are considering joining up with Austrucks?
Well, certainly, by all means, come along to any of the Austruck meetings, iRace or whatever. Feel free to come up and talk to me or any of the drivers, or even Graham Struber or Greg McIntyre from Austrucks. Look up the Austruck website, and but don't be afraid to come and talk to us, because this is what it's all about. That's just how I got involved. As I just asked a few questions, I got on the mailing list on the website, austrucks.com, and that's how it all evolved from there. So anyone that wants to get involved in Austrucks or iRace in any of the categories, I don't think there's a better series to get involved in.